So let's continue what we were learning about solving equations. We've got a couple more examples here, but this time we're going to tie in what we learned in the last lesson because it's the properties of equality that allow us to solve equations. So we're going to begin here, but then we're going to also state the property that we used to make this true. Right, we're going to find our equal sign here so that we can find the two sides of our balanced equation. We've got m minus 7 equals 13. So we want to get that m by itself so that we can solve this equation. And we do that by adding the 7. If I add the 7 to one side of that line, I must add it to the other side. Now that operation that says when we add the same thing to both sides of an equation, that was the addition property of equality. So that's what we're going to put down below as which property allows this to remain true. Because remember, that's all equations are about, keeping them true. Now that I've got this part done, I can do what's called canceling. But remember, that's actually the inverse property that creates a 0. And now I have that m equals 20. Never forget, though, we always want to check that our answer is correct. So to check, we're going to take our original equation and we're going to substitute the 20 for the m. So 20 minus 7 equals 13. And does that check? Yes, 13 does equal 13. That checks out. For this next problem, we learned this last time, but let's not forget that whenever you see a variable next to a number, or when you see two variables, two letters next to each other, that always means multiplication. So now that we know it means multiplication, we're ready to solve our equation. You can see right here, this time it's on the right side of the equal sign. I want to move that 3 to the other side. And since I've got multiplication to begin with, the opposite would be division. We learned earlier that the fraction bar means division, so we can use that here as a little bit of a shortcut. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Once again, the inverse property, that makes a 1 here. Negative 42 divided by 3 is negative 14, and that equals y, or so we hope. Let's check that our answer is correct. Negative 42 equals 3 parentheses negative 14, and we can see that that does. Negative 42 equals negative 42, so that does check out. Now you might be asking yourself, why are we doing this check? It seems obvious. Later on, we're going to do more complicated problems where a check will become important. And the final thing, I didn't do it earlier this time. What was the very first property we used? So the very first property was way back here, and you can see what I did. I divided the 3. So I used the division property of equality. For this example, I'm going to show you 2 different methods for solving the same problem. These do become a little bit trickier because we've got that dreaded fraction. Wah, wah, wah. I know you hate fractions, but I'm going to show you how to do them. And once I think you see them, you're going to go, oh, well, those actually aren't too bad. So the first method I'm going to show you is called multiplying by the inverse. Since we have 2/3 times b equals 24, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/3 to each side. So let's draw that line down our equal side so we can see the two sides. Then I'm going to multiply each side by 3/2. So 2/3, the reciprocal would be to flip it over and we get 3/2. Just like before, we're going to see some canceling. So these 3's will cancel, the 2's will cancel. Another way to think about this is we just created 6/6, and 6/6 is just 1. So we created a 1. Since 1 times b, or 1 times any number, is just that number, so it's b. Now over here, this takes a little bit more work. There's 2 ways I can do it. I can do 24 times 3, which is 72, divided by 2. Or I prefer to do this cross canceling. So 2 goes into 24 12 times, and then 12 times 3 is 36. Of course, we're going to check our answer. So 2/3 times our answer, which is 36. We want to see if that equals 24. So I'm going to do my cross canceling. I'll put that over 1. This is times. 3 goes into 36 12 times. 2 times 12 is 24. And sure enough, we did find the correct answer. B does equal 36. So for those of you who did not like that reciprocal method, good news is there is another way, but bad news is it takes 2 steps instead of 1. We are going to multiply and then divide for our 2 steps here. We're going to multiply by the denominator, because hopefully you remember that when we have a fraction, it means the denominator means to divide. So the opposite of dividing this 3 would be to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3 here. Now, 3 divided by 3 creates a 1 again. So that's 3 divided by 3. That creates a 1. 1 times 2 is just 2. And we have 2b, or not 2b. See what I did there? 24 times 3 is 72. You wish I wouldn't have. I know you do. All right, then remember we multiplied that time, but now we have 2 times b. So the opposite would be to divide by that 2. And I finally get that b equals 36. I'm not going to check it this time because we checked it in the last problem, and we already know the answer is 36. These final 2 examples I'd like you to try on your own, and we will check them when we get back to class in Socrative.